Hello, and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. Today's video, Copic markers. Yes, I'm going back to markers for today. I was trying to design a character that I thought had a chance at getting an award in the Copic Awards. This is not it. I decided not to submit this one. I won't be telling you which piece I submitted until after the award. You might see it if you're following me on social media, because we are allowed to share it to our personal accounts, but yeah. This is not it. I have entered the contest. This is not that piece. It was going to be. It's not. I decided to create a ballerina character using mostly pinks and purples and the E line, the earth tones, skin tones, and I think it turned out pretty well. It just wasn't up to the caliber of the other character designs on the Copic Award website so far, so I didn't pick this one. But that's okay. I do like it. If I decide to make prints of this one or put it on merchandise on Redbubble or Zazzle, I'm probably going to do a little bit of digital editing. I don't quite like my line work in some spots, and I think you'll see that. But anyway, overall I like it, and I hope you will too. So, on with the artwork. Today, I'm going to do a little bit of a story time and talk to you about the 2 years I spent doing ballet as an adult. Yes, indeed, you can do that. There are adult ballet classes all over the place. You just have to look and ask and find out some more information. I did gymnastics in my preschool age years. Unfortunately, the gym I was doing it at shut down, and for some reason my parents never found another one. One session my mom registered a little too late and stuck me in a ballet class instead because the gymnastics class had filled up. And she didn't tell me that it was ballet, and it was all out in the same space, and I am proud to say that 4-year-old me got the ballet class over on the balance beams more than once. But beyond that, that was the only formal ballet experience I had growing up. And I always loved to watch ballet dancers, and then when I was a teenager, when we had international students living with us all the time because we were a host family, one year, my 12th grade year, we had a German girl stay with us. I refer to her as my sister. She's come back and visited us. She was one of my bridesmaids at my wedding. She was a ballet dancer, and so I got to see her working on ballet all year and go to her performances. She's actually come back to Canada for competitions, and we've hosted her again while she was here for that. And I thought that was all just really fascinating. And so when I was 22 and I had broken up with my ex who I'd been with for 3 years, and I moved back home, and I made a whole lot of changes in my life then. And I decided to do something purely for myself, and I enrolled in an adult ballet class at the studio that my sister had done ballet at when she was 6. And to my surprise, when I got there on the first day, there was a beginner level class and an intermediate level class, and the beginner class had 2 people in it, and to my surprise, they were people I had gone to high school with. One who had been a really close friend, and one who had been a grade younger, but she hung out with us a lot. And I hadn't seen them in a couple years at that point because we were 22. And it was great. I got to learn ballet as an adult, no pressure, with people I had known for years. And it was so much fun. It was also so interesting just paying attention to my progress throughout that year. Like in September, we would do our bar exercises, and then we would move into the middle of the floor for our center exercises, and our teacher would lead us through what really was pretty simple floor routines, and I'd be losing my balance all over the place, and I'd be 1 or 2 beats behind everybody else. But by the end of the year, in June, it was no problem. We'd There was one center routine we did in September, and then we hadn't done it in most of the year. And then in June, we did it again, and it was so easy, and I felt so proud of myself, and I thought that was really cool that I could progress that much in just 1 year. And then the second year, I tried to point. There were even more of us. Another surprise friend I hadn't seen in a long time joined us, and there were a couple other students that I hadn't met before. We actually decided that when the Royal Academy of Dance, RAD, when they came around to examine the younger students in their grade levels, we wanted to do an exam too, so we actually had an extra third class every week for a couple of months leading into the exams in mid-March. And we did the 6th grade exam, and all of us passed. Nobody got distinction, but all of us passed. And I'm proud of that too. It was a lot of fun. And of course, doing the RAD program, that meant not only did we do what you think of when you think of ballet, we also did character dancing, and we did some scarf work, some freeform, and it was just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. We had the opportunity to, as the bigger class, not just the group that wanted to do RAD, we had the opportunity to go to an adult-only amateur dance competition, and we kind of defaulted into a first-place prize because we were the only group that entered in the ballet category. But that was a whole lot of fun, just the experience of going to a dance competition at 23 at the time, when I hadn't done competitive dance all through my life. Like, after that stint doing gymnastics, my only experience with dance growing up was Norwegian folk dancing as part of my grandparents' membership with the Sons of Norway Heritage Organization. Like, that's not doing competitions. Lots of performances, sure, but that's not competitions. And so then, in my 20s, to go and do a ballet competition, that was so much fun. When you start ballet as an adult, you're certainly never going to be a professional. You're not going to go join a company and work your way up to a soloist. But you absolutely can end up doing competitions. And you absolutely can end up dancing on point. And so if you've ever wished that you did something as a child, a dance form, an instrument, something like that, you absolutely can go out and learn that now. It is never too late. And if you look hard enough, if you ask the right questions, there is always somebody willing to teach you. That was my experience, 2 years doing ballet as an adult. I didn't continue because that led me right up to when I moved out of BC over here to Newfoundland, and then I was supporting myself, nobody else around, and going to university full-time. I didn't have the time, I didn't know where to go, and yeah. When my daughter's old enough to be interested in dance, then I'll find out where to go. But it's interesting to pick up a dance form as an adult. When little kids are learning ballet, they don't look like they're doing ballet when they're up there on stage at the year-end recital. Sure, they're in little tutus, and sure, they're pointing their toes forward, but their knees not at the right angle to do it properly, and sure, they're putting their arms over their head, but it certainly does not look like a port-de-bras. But they're learning where to extend the leg to, and they're learning to have their hands perfectly above their forehead when they do put their arms up. So when they're older and their teacher starts refining the movements and the positions, the basics are already there. Now, you're not going to do that with an adult. You are going to jump straight in. This is the grade 6 level bar exercise for port-de-bras. Here you go, do it. But with an adult, you can have them do it, and you can go, okay, freeze. Okay, your right elbow is too high, lower it a bit, angle that shoulder. Okay, your left hip, You need to square off. You need that in line with your right hip. Okay, point your toes just a little bit more. No knuckling. Point it straight. Okay, yeah, You can do that with an adult, and the adult is capable of isolating that in their mind and taking that information and doing something with it, where the 4-year-old has no clue what you're saying. So it's going to be really hard when you jump into a dance form you've never done before, an instrument you've never done before, at any age. But when you do it as an adult, you get to really jump into it, because you're aware enough and you have the understanding that the teacher can put you right into that grade 6 level and make corrections. It's just so cool. You made it to the end of the video! Don't forget to hit like, leave a comment, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe and ring that bell. I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, and I feature artists and crafters in my end card. Use the hashtag LookJennaYT. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye guys!